First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Today's video, I wanted to touch on this video this brother posted, or this TikTok that this man posted, pretty much going into what's coming. Okay, and the reason I'm making this video is because this guy, he knows a little bit about what's about to happen, but he also has some flaws in there. Okay, and I'm gonna just play the video, stop it as I go, and pretty much correct them, and throw in the scriptures that really link it up. So let's go.
This is a follow-up to the video I did earlier about the money in the banks. I'm going to tell you right now, Brics is officially online. Brics is here. Russia, China, Africa, Saudi Arabia, Iran, some other countries have come together to eliminate the dollar. And we're starting to feel those effects now. Back in June, Saudi Arabia agreed to start trading the oil in the Brics, no longer in the dollar, which has really not been felt immediately, but in the next few months and weeks we will feel it, and the banks will feel it, and America will feel it, and it's pretty much going to collapse the economy because...
And that's one point where he's actually going off, right? The Brics currency hasn't even been fully pushed online yet. Right, I searched up Brics Summit 2024 currency. It says, will Brics have a digital currency? Brics nations do not, as of yet, have their own specific digital currency, but a Brics blockchain-based payment system is in the works, according to Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov in March 2024. Right, so the currency isn't live yet, but they're working on one. Right, eventually there is going to be a Brics currency, and that is going to lead to the dollar just completely collapsing. Right, but that hasn't happened yet. Right, he's claiming that it's happened. It hasn't happened yet. Right, he's also going into how Saudi, they're using the Brics currencies. Right, what I think he's trying to go into is how Saudi Arabia didn't renew their security agreement with the U.S. Right, it says recently Saudi Arabia decided not to renew the security agreements with the U.S., officially initiating the process of de-dollarization, and a large number of U.S. troops have arrived in the Middle East. Right, ultimately what happened is that Saudi Arabia and the U.S. had a deal. I think it was a 50 or 40-year deal going into how Saudi Arabia would only trade oil with America and use its dollars. Right, Saudi Arabia would have a strict deal with America and to only use U.S. dollars. Right, that's why America is pretty much the hegemony of the entire world, is because the U.S. dollar is backed by Saudi oil. Okay, but here it is. It expired not too long ago, and they didn't renew it. Right, so this is part of ultimately the nation separating from the dollar, as it says, initiating process of de-dollarization. Right, but Saudi Arabia is not trading. Okay, it's not trading with any other currency still. It's still using the dollar. Okay, it's just that it's not tied to the dollar anymore. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up.
The dollar will no longer be backed by its most valuable asset, which is oil. It's supposed to be backed by gold, neither one which America has. We do have oil in Texas and Alaska, but they would have to get bold and start drilling and tapping into the resources, which we don't know if they're ready to do based on the environmental claims they make. But what's going to happen is, once the Brics collapses the dollar, and the dollar collapses in America, and the banks shut down, they already have a system in place. They've been working on FedNow and the Real ID. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google both. You can Google FedNow.gov, or you can Google Real ID. And both of these things are in place and ready to go. So they need to roll this system out. And the only way to roll this system out is to collapse the dollar.
Okay, and he's actually on point on that. Right, the FedNow went live last summer. Right, the FedNow is an instant payment service developed by the Federal Reserve for depository institutions in the United States, which allows individuals and businesses to send and receive money. The service launched on July 20, 2023. Banks will be able to build products on top of the FedNow platform. And pretty much what FedNow is, it's like Cash App or Venmo, okay, but pretty much from the government. Okay, 24/7 instantaneous payments. So you no longer have to wait to get your payment arriving in a day or 2 days. Now you can do it directly through the Fed, okay, and it's 24/7. Okay, what this ultimately is the infrastructure for the digital currency. Right, everything is in place, and this launched on July 20, 2023. It's already live. Okay, so that's what he was talking about. And then he said that in order for the digital currency and all that to go live, they have to get rid of the current one. Right, that's also on point. Right? Ultimately, what that's called is they call it the Hegelian dialect. Right? Hegelian dialect. Right? The Hegelian dialect. Let's see if I can find simple terms. Pretty much what it is simplifying is I'll just call it like this. All right, problem, reaction, solution. Right, let me see if I can get this image in full. Right, they create the problem and blame someone else. Public's reaction demand a solution. They provide the solution. Secret agenda is implemented. Right, and this is ultimately the Hegelian dialect. Right, the elites they create the problem. Right, the problem they're gonna probably create is a civil war, some type of cyber attack. Right, they're gonna bring in some type of problem to have the public react, go into how we need some way to fix this. And ultimately, the solution that the government is going to push is, oh, the dollar is unsafe, da da da, here's the new one. A digital dollar, a Biden bucks, whatever they want to call it. Okay, digital system, complete slavery. That's what's going to happen. Okay, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? So the day of the Lord, okay, all of this is going to happen as a thief in the night. It's going to come when you least expect it. When they're talking peace and safety, everything's okay, don't worry, we're going to make a comeback. That's when it's going to fall. Right? That's when it's going to get even worse. Okay? Just, hey, if there's a cyber attack, if the economy collapses, they're not going to warn you. Right, you're just gonna wake up one day and everything is just closed, or not closed, but you're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna wake up to your phone with all types of notifications. You're not gonna be able to access your banks or ATMs and pull out money, right? All of that is gonna be out the window. Okay, and when you actually look into how much money the banks hold, right, they have something called fractional reserving, right? Fractional reserving, where the banks don't even hold all the money that they have, right? When you go into it, they hold maybe a 95. No, they hold maybe 5% of the money. The other 95% of the money that they so-called have of people depositing, they use that money to invest in other ventures. Right? They use your money and they invest it in other ventures. That's why if you go to the bank and you try pulling out 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, they'll tell you you'll have to go through a whole lot of bullshit because they don't have it. They can't give it to you. Okay, and when these banks collapse, okay, these people are trying to pull their money. Hey, they're not going to give any money out because they do not have the money. They don't have it. Okay, and also there's a same thing with the FDIC. Right? They say that your money is secured to a certain dollar amount, right? But it's to a certain dollar amount. All these millionaires out here that got tons of millions of dollars, they're fucked, right? Because they can't be covered. All right, let's see what the FDIC insurance limit is. Right. The FDIC deposits up to $250,000 per depositor per FDIC insured bank. So that's the max they pretty much do. For example, if two spouses have two children and each parent has set up a trust for each child, coverage would extend to 1 million. Okay, so pretty much standard 250,000. If you have more than that in your bank account, you ain't getting any of it. Right? It's out the window. So that's already gonna cause problems. There's actually video. I made a video about it a long time ago, going into how they recorded it in a meeting of the FDIC, going into how these people were talking about how, yeah, right, we don't got the money if this all collapses. Right? Even the FDIC don't have the money to insure the depositors. Right? So let's say out of this 250,000, they might not even give you all that because they don't have it. Okay, and I have to find the video. It's in one of that videos I made a long time ago, but they were going into it. And they said that, hey, if everything collapses, let's hope it's on a Friday. Right? Why did they say that? Because banks are closed Saturday and Sunday. This was literally in a video. I have to go find it. But as it says, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. That's going to happen when you least expect it. Wake up one day and your life has changed. So that's why it's important to always be on point. Let's keep listening to what he says.
So, this is planned, and they're going to execute it, and we are going to be the targets. So when you go into the banks and you're not able to access your money and we start freaking out, burning shit down, they're gonna bring in the military. The military is gonna lock shit down, and then they're gonna start giving out choices. They're gonna start saying you can get food and rations, yada yada yada. You can get this bank code on your real ID, and basically you'll be trapped by the government, and you'll be dependent on the government. This is gonna be a big separation in mankind right now, especially in America. What's gonna happen is those who can take care of themselves, who know how to grow food, who know how to hunt, who know how to look for clean water, how to filter clean water, who don't need to depend on the government and the system to survive, you'll be living your own life. Those of us who think that we need to depend on the government and we can't do it on our own, we're going to be fucked. So, I'm telling you right now, they're coming up on a time where there's about to be a big split. There's about to be a big split, a big separation.
Right? He just went into it. Right? He said that if you don't know, he said that either you're gonna rely on the government or you're gonna go out here and farm and fish and do all these wildlife activities, right? He said those are the only two options. But what this guy isn't considering is that the true believers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the elect, they don't have to know how to fish. They don't have to know how to make a fire or any of that. All they need is genuine faith. That's all you need. Right? Because faith is what's going to save us through all these times. Not our carnal possessions and our money, our silver, our gold. None of that is going to save us. What's going to save us is our faith. Okay, it doesn't matter if you know how to make a fire or not. Your faith is going to have miracles happen to keep you on point. Okay, and these niggas out here that know how to make all that fire and water and everything you just said, if they don't have faith, they are fucked. Right? They are fucked. So, this is Isaiah chapter 20, verse 20, going into that. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty God." Right, and this is talking about in the day of Jacob's trouble, right? The elect, the remnant, are not going to stay upon those that have smote us, our enemies, this government. Right, we're going to rely upon the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, to take care of us. Right, so we're going to be out here moving on straight faith. Right, it says in Esdras, in that day, even as pilgrims. Right, we're going to have to be moving, okay, city to city. Okay, this place over here for a little bit, then we got to move. Something came up. Right, we're going to be out here moving on faith, and miracles are going to be happening. We're going to be relying and staying upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And only the remnant are going to do that. The others are going to do what he said. Right, rely upon the government. And it says those that rely upon the government are going to be fucked. Right, let's read that in Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. And when it's talking about Egypt here, it's talking about America. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walked to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt." Right, going into how, hey, these are 2/3, these wicked ass Israelites, they're going to go down to Egypt and try to strengthen themselves, right, by the hand of Pharaoh, okay, the American government. These are the niggas that are going to go and take the chip. These are the niggas that, when they talk about, oh, you need to get all the vaccines, they go and do it. Okay, these are these complete, just sheep out here. NPCs, lost in the sauce. It says, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion." Right, because you trusting in the shadow of Egypt, right, this government and everything they tell you is going to lead to your confusion, your demise, your shame. Because you're going to realize that everything they're telling you is a facade, right? It's lies. Okay, relying upon the government is not going to help you or put you in a better predicament. Okay, it's not going to at all. The only thing that's going to really matter is faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, imagine they're telling you, yeah, we're going to give you food, we're going to give you water, and here it is, here it is for food, they give you a bag of crickets, right? I mean, it's still food, but like, damn. Like, you're going to be like, damn. You made me take the trip to eat a bag of crickets. I could have ate that shit in the wilderness, right? They're telling you, I'm going to give you water, and they give you some fucking water that hasn't been cleaned, right? Some fucking pond water. Who fucking knows, right? It says that at the end of the day, trusting in the shadow of Egypt is going to be your confusion. You're just going to be even more lost. And let's see how it says that in the NLT. It says, by trusting Pharaoh, you will be humiliated, and by depending on him, you will be disgraced. Okay? So exactly the same thing we said. See here what it says in the NLT, the New Living Translation. For without consulting me, you have gone down to Egypt for help. You have put your trust in Pharaoh's protection. You have tried to hide in his shade. Right? Same thing. These wicked ass Israelites that don't seek the Lord. And let's keep watching this video, see what else he has to say. And I have one more scripture.
Coming about. It's going to have to do with technology. It's going to have to do with 5D. It's going to have to do with the end of times and the Antichrist and all that stuff that you hear about that scares you. It's taking place. So I would advise you, no fear. Just live in the moment. Live at your highest self. Be your highest self. And get ready because we're entering some crazy times, as you can see from the past few weeks.
And he said it right there, man. We're entering some crazy times. He said that, hey, you gotta focus on your higher self, your spiritual self. Right? Ezra said that to put off the mortal. Right? You get that in 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and I'll start at verse 13. It says, Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, and put off now the weak nature. Right? You're supposed to get strong, right? Mentally, physically, right? Set your house in order. Okay, spiritually, your spiritual house, your spirit. Right? It says that a man that can't rule his spirit, okay, is like a city broken down. Okay, it also says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Right? You gotta be out here fully locked into the truth and what's going on, staying in the loop. It says, And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Right? So it says, hey, those thoughts that are heavy unto thee, the fact you can't pay your rent, the fact you ain't got no chick, okay, or whatever your problems are, you have afflictions in the body, some type of disease, put that shit to the side. Because greater evils than anything mankind has ever seen are about to come on the earth. Right? So, hey, that says a lot. Right? If you really internalize that, that says a lot. You gotta stay on point, man. Now more than ever, seeing that today, Israel attacked some massive attacks in Lebanon. That's some serious escalation, right? Iran was talking about how if they attacked Lebanon, right, they were gonna get involved, and that's all prophetic. Okay, everything that's happening right now is prophetic, and it's right in front of our eyes. But the elect, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Let's read that. This is Isaiah chapter 65 verse 12. It says, Therefore will I number you to the sword, ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. But it evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Right, this is talking about the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Ultimately, those that are not going to repent are going to be wicked. They've been predestinated to be wicked. And it talks about that in Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8 and verse 9. It says, Therefore thus saith Yahweh, Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Right, so his servants, the elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, we're going to be out here eating, drinking, rejoicing, singing for joy of heart when everything goes down. When there's famine and pestilences and wars, we're going to be taken care of. Okay, because, hey, before anything went down, we had trust in the Lord that we were doing the right thing. Right, but these niggas, these wicked ass niggas out here, okay, that ain't seeking the Lord, it says that in that time they're going to be hungry. They're going to be thirsty. They're going to be ashamed because they didn't do the right thing. They're going to be crying for sorrow of heart and howling for vexation of spirit. Okay, because they're going to realize that everything those men were saying on the corner was correct. And they're going to be in that spirit of regret, in that spirit of damn, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But now it's too late. The Lord's going to pull your number. Right? He's going to get rid of your ass. But, hey, we in those times, man. We in those times, and it's beautiful. Okay, this is what we're waiting for. Okay, as it says in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10, hey, this is the faith and the patience of the saints. This is what we're waiting for. It says in 2 Peter chapter 3, it talks about how, hey, we're going to be looking forward to the destruction of this place, right, for the fire to come down. Because the faster this place goes down, the faster the kingdom of heaven is established, and there is peace on the earth. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully this is edifying. With that, to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.